In this video lecture, we are going to understand five kingdom classification system, which was proposed by the Whittaker. Introduction. Very early on, the scientists began grouping the living organisms under different categories. Some biologists classified organisms into plants and animals. Now we know that when the scientists came to know about these different types of organisms, they started the classification of organisms into two different categories, that is plant and animals. The scientists Ernst Haeckel, Robert Whittaker, Carl Woese are some biologists who attempted a broader system of classification. Now these are the some scientists or the biologists who attempted a broader system of classification. Among us, this the five kingdom classification was proposed by the Robert Whittaker, and that is now we are using for the different types of classifications, especially for the microorganisms. Whittaker proposed the organisms should be broadly divided into kingdoms based on the different characteristics such as structure of the cell, mode of nutrition, the source of nutrition, interrelationships, body organization, reproduction, etc. Now, this Whittaker proposed the five kingdom classification system on the basis of different criteria, and he used mode of nutrition, structure of the cell, source of nutrition, interrelationships, body organization, and the reproduction. According to this system, there are five types of kingdoms. Now, first kingdom is the Monera. Now, Monera is the prokaryotic kingdom, which contains the prokaryotic organisms, means the organisms with the primitive types of nucleus or primary developed nucleus. The DNA do not contain any histone proteins. They lack sexual reproduction because in prokaryotes asexual reproduction is formed. The cell wall contains mainly murein or polypeptide, and the cell wall do not contain any cellulose material. They contain flagella, but the flagella do not contain a 9+2 arrangement. Bacteria have anaerobic photosynthesis. Example, bacteria, blue-green algae. Now next one, that is the Protista. Now Protista is a unicellular one, means they contain only one cellular organelle, and they are eukaryotic in nature, means they have well-developed nucleus. Their DNA contain histone proteins and flagella with 9+2 arrangement. They are hydrotropic in nutrition, and they absorb or intake food by the process known as absorption or ingestion. Example is protozoa and unicellular algae. Next is the Plantae. Now Plantae is the eukaryotic kingdom. The organism lack movement. There is no movement in the plants. Body bear hold fast or other parts of encouragements. The cell wall contains cellulose mostly. They do not contain any peptidoglycan or other chemicals. Examples are the algae, bryophyta, fern, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. Next one is the fungi. Now fungi is one of the eukaryotic organism. It is non-vascular, non-motile, and heterotropic organism. They are unicellular or filament. Unicellular means what? They contain only one cell organelle, and filamentous means the structure is like filamentous. They reproduce by means of spores. Now spores is the sexual reproduction. Fungi exhibit phenomenon of alteration of generation. They do not contain any chlorophyll, that's why they do not perform any photosynthesis. They store food in the form of starch. Biosynthesis of chitin occurs in fungi. The nuclei of the fungi is very small. During mitosis, the nuclear envelope is not dissolved. The mode of nutrition is both, that is sexual and asexual. Some fungi are parasitic and can infect the host. Parasitic means what? That totally depends on other, especially host, on their growth and all that stuff. Fungi reproduce or produce a chemical called foramen, which leads to the sexual reproduction in fungi. Now we know that in fungi sexual reproduction occurs. So the sexual reproduction occurs due to the chemical known as foramen. So this is all about the fungi kingdom. Next kingdom is the Animalia. Now Animalia kingdom is a multicellular in nature, means they contain many cells, and it is eukaryotic in nature, means they contain well-developed nucleus. Now here we have to remember that the Animalia do not contain any cell wall. Next one, the heterotropic mode of nutrition, and they lack photosynthesis because they don't have chlorophyll. Example is the animals. Thank you.